Welcome everyone. Right now I'm going to walk you through how to record your screen on a Mac computer. So if you're using a MacBook or an iMac or anything running Mac OS, this guide should work for you. We've already done a guide on how to record your screen on a PC using the Google Chrome extension Screen Recorder, and that method actually works in Chrome on a Mac as well. But if you are using a up-to-date, fairly newish Mac, this method is pretty easy too. So right off the bat, if you are using Mac OS Mojave or later, the newest, if you're using the latest version, it's Catalina, you can actually get started just by pressing on your keyboard Shift, Command, and the number 5. So Shift, Command, and 5, and it will bring up this down here that will allow you to capture your entire screen. You can also take some screenshots as well. If you're running something older, you can get this as well, but there's a slightly different way of doing it in that you will go and launch QuickTime, which is this icon here. So launch QuickTime, and if it pops up asking you to like open or anything like that, you can click cancel, because what we need to do is go up here to File. And from here, we want to click on New Screen Recording. When you click on New Screen Recording, then you should get this bar or something similar. So you've got some options to set up before you actually get started. The first is under Options. You can choose where you want to save your resulting file. I prefer to save mine to the desktop to make it easier to find when I'm finished. And you can set a timer, kind of like when you have a self timer on a camera. You can choose if you'd like to record your built-in microphone or some other audio source. And one that I really like is to enable this one that says show mouse clicks. And what this will do is make a little circle around your cursor every time you click on something to make it a little bit more visually understandable that you are clicking on a thing. The other options that you have, these three options here are all screenshot. So that's a still image. The two for recording the screen are here, and you basically have the option of recording the entire screen like I'm doing now. So you get your desktop wallpaper, you get icons and the dock and all that, or you can record a portion of your screen. And if you enable that, then you're only recording the things that are inside this dotted outline of a window. I like to do this sometimes because you can actually set the dimensions. And so you'll see right now I've got it set to 1920 by 1080 or thereabouts. So that's nice if you're going for a specific screen size. That's another thing to consider when you are recording the screen of a Mac is most Macs have pretty high resolution displays at this point, which is going to make seeing what's on the screen a little bit more difficult, especially if you're on a smaller screen. So sometimes what I recommend would be to go into your system preferences, click on displays, and from here you can actually scale your display to be a little bit bigger, to basically emulate different screen resolutions. So we can set this a little bit bigger. This might actually be a little bit too big. Maybe we'll find a happy medium here. Okay, so now that we are kind of recalibrated our display, let's see if we can bring that up again. So we can hit Shift Command 5, or we can go down here to right click on the icon and click Screen Recording. And we're going to do the entire screen, and we're going to hit Record. Now when we do that, yeah, quick. So for more of the recent operating systems, it's gotten a little bit more locked down with the preferences. So we want to allow QuickTime Player to access the microphone. And then at this point, we are recording, at least I believe we are. Let's try that again. Go ahead and record. Okay, so though it's actually kind of difficult to tell whether or not you are recording. And primarily it is this button up here in the menu bar that kind of looks like a circle with a square inside of it. When you are finished recording, you'll hit that button, and then basically it will open your screen recording. And you see I have a new movie saved to my desktop. So let's try this again. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this, and let's bring up a new screen recording. I'm gonna hit record, and we are recording. So right now we are, so at this point, you'd be taking your staff or your patrons through the demonstration, your audience through the demonstration of whatever it is that you wanted to show them. So if it was like, here's how you register for a program, here's how you do this, here's how you take them through all the steps. It's recording your voice as you're doing it, and then when you are all finished, then you can go ahead and click stop. It immediately launches your movie in QuickTime Player, and you can play it back. I'm going to mute the audio, but when we play it back, you'll see that the cursor is moving around, and you can see the little circle screenshots from when I clicked. So that's really great. One thing that that I like to do when I'm finished with the screen recording is I like to trim the beginning and the end off of it. Now, in the previous video, we had to upload it to YouTube before we were able to trim, but on the Mac, it's a little bit easier. Obviously, if you've got something like iMovie installed, that's a super easy video editing tool. So you can open this video clip in iMovie, make a bunch of edits to it. But if you're really just looking to trim off the beginning or the end, then all you need to do is go up here to the Edit menu in QuickTime with your video open. Go to the Edit menu and go down here to Trim, or you can just press Command-T. And that brings up, this is actually very similar to the interface on the phone if you've ever done anything on iPhone, and you can play back your video. And we want to start, we've got a little red playhead that you can just barely see. And let's say I want to start this video when I get to the Elmwood Park Public Library page. So we'll have it start around here. I can scrub back and forth. And so we'll put the playhead here. And then all we need to do is grab this yellow bar and sync it, drag it up until it's in sync with that playhead. And I think, let's see, that's about right. So you'll notice when I click on this and move it around, it behaves like you would expect it to. But if you click and hold it for a minute, you'll notice that the timeline stretches out a little bit. It's supposed to give you a little bit finer control. I find a lot of times I end up fighting it a little bit. So just just be aware of that. It can be kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time. So then we can do the exact same thing for the end of our video. Let's see, I'm not actually sure where we ended. Let's say we end it about here. We'll move this back to the ending spot. That looks good. And if you want to preview it, you can just hit play, check it out. Usually want to verify that you don't cut off any words. I'm not doing this with sound because it's a little bit confusing, but just verify that you're not cutting yourself off when you trim it. And then you hit trim. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You can actually exit out of this file, and when you do, it'll ask you to save. Since we trimmed it and we made some changes to it, we need to export it as a new file format, or as a new file. So we'll just say screen recording trimmed, and we'll save. It's going to save it to the desktop, but if we wanted to put it someplace else, we could do that there. Click save. And it'll take a few minutes, depending on how long your recording is. It could take a few minutes. But now we have our original here, and we have our modified one here. And from there, we're going to upload that to YouTube just like we did in the last video. So that's a pretty simple process. And I will suggest that you go check out the previous video on how to upload stuff to YouTube, or maybe we'll make a separate video on maybe we'll make a separate video on how to upload videos to YouTube. But that's pretty much it. You can just take this and upload it to YouTube. So, thanks.